Hey, what's up, guys? It's been a while since I did my last actual lesson, but I'm going to go back and finish the lesson on Flight of the Wounded Bumblebee and No More Tears. I'm going to teach you how to play the entire song, No More Tears. Just haven't had time to get around to it. But I want to go ahead and show you the Tornado of Souls guitar solo, how to play it. I recently got a hold of the guitar solo isolated track, the original track by Marty Friedman from the Megadeth album, Rest in Peace, and I was able to slow it down note for note and figure it out how to play the solo. And I watched Marty Friedman up close on live videos on YouTube, and so I can pick out his hand position. I can show you the difference that he does live versus what he plays on the album as well. Not 100%, there's always a little bit, difference. I humbly say that I cannot get things 100% correctly, but I'm confident I got pretty close. So hope you enjoy the lesson, and we'll see you soon. All right, the guitar and the solo is tuned to standard tuning. So it's E A D G B E. At 440, and here's the first part of solo. Alright, so that part right there is all on the G string. Is more difficult than it looks. So the first note, you gotta play the third fret on the G string, but you gotta mute on the A string and the D string. You rack it down, and then you play the third fret on the G. So now once you play the G string, you gotta bend up like a quarter bend, and a bit release back at. And as soon as you release back that, you bend it back up right away. So it goes like this. Now after you bend it back up second time, you gotta hold it, and then you do the vibrato. So just that one note, there's a lot of stuff going on. So it goes like this. Just like that. Next point one is the fourth fret on the G string. You do the same thing. You rack down on the A and D string, mute, and then hit the fourth fret on the G. And then sixth fret on the G. Seventh fret on the G. And play the seventh fret again on the G slap to ninth fret. And then ninth fret to 11th fret. And then 11th fret on the G, slide back down to 9th fret. Now after that, you play the 9th fret on the G and pull off on the 7th fret. Now after you play that part, you'll play the 10th fret on the G string, quickly slide down to 8th fret and bend it up quarter note. So go so the whole thing goes like this slowly. Next part. Okay, so I'm playing 7 and 9 on the G, 10 and 7 on the B, 9 7 on the G, and then 6 and 7 on the G, and then 9 fret on the D string with pinky, and then 6th fret on the G, hammer on the 7th fret, back to 6th fret on the G string. So slowly. Next part. Play 6th fret on the G, hammer on the 7th fret, 6th fret on the G, 9 7 on the D, 9 on the A, 7th fret on the D, hammer on the 9th fret on the D. and then finish up on the 9th fret on the A string. So it goes like this again. So the whole thing, look. So that was not actually hammer-on, so instead of, you actually pick a 6th and 7th fret. So the whole thing slowly from the top goes like this. Okay, and the next lick goes like this. Okay, so you play 9th fret on the A string, hammer on the 10th fret, and then 9 on the D string, hammer on the 11th fret, and then slide up the 12th fret. And then 11th fret on the G string with my index finger, and then 12th fret on the B string, 14th fret on the B, 12th fret on the B, and then open string twice, kind of slightly mute, and then plays 14th fret on the B string, 12th, and 14th again on the B, bend up quarter. So far with this. Next part, 14 and 12 on a B. And then the next part you play the 14th fret on a B again. You slide down the 12th fret and then you bend up a quarter note. So I quickly slide down from 14 to 12 and bend up. So the whole thing sounds like this. Slow down. Next part, you play 12th fret on the B fret twice and a hammer on the 14th fret. You play a 12th fret on the G, okay? And after that part, the next part goes like this. Okay, so you play it twice on the 12th fret on the G string, and then play the 14th fret on the E string twice, and then hammer on the 15th fret on the E string, and then 14 on the E, and then 10 on the E, back to 14 on the E, and then 10th fret on the E string, hammer on and pull off on the 14th fret. So far with this. Next one, you go to 14 on the B string, 10 on the E, 14 on the B, 12 on the B, 11 on the G, 9 on the G, G11, 9 on the G, 7 on the G, and then play a 9th fret again on the G, bend up, stop, quickly, bend up slightly, and then you stop, and you play the 7th fret again on the G string, slide down to 6th fret. So the whole lick slowly goes like this. That. Alright, So that whole section together goes like this. And quickly slide up like that. And then it goes into the arpeggios, next part. So the next arpeggio part goes like this after you slide up. Alright, so what I'm doing is I play the 14th fret on the E string, and then 10th fret on the E, hammer on, pull off on 14th fret, 14 and 12 on the B string, 11 on the G, 12 and 14 on the B, and then 10 on the E. Quickly slide from 14 to 19th fret, pull off on 14, 15 and 14 on the B, 16 on the G, 14 and 15 on the B, 14 on the E. So far with this. You want to do up, down, on the alternate picking. So one more time. Next part, 19 on the E string, 15th fret on the E string, 15, 19 and pull off on 15, 17 on the B, 16 on the G, 17 on the D, 16 on the G, 17 on the B, 15 on the E, 19 on the E, and then play the 20th fret on the E string, bend up full step to 22nd fret, and then 19, 18, and 19 on the E string. So that second part goes like this. Alright, so the whole thing slowly goes like this. And the next part goes like this. So what I'm doing is I play 19th fret on the E string. This time you play 16th fret on the E string, hammer on, pull off a 19th fret, 17 on the B, 16 on the G, slide down to 13th fret, 14 on the G, on the D string. You play the 13th fret on the G, hammer on to 16th fret, and then string skip and play the 12th fret on the high E string, and then hammer on and pull off on the 16th fret, and the 16th fret on the G string, pull off on the 13th fret, 14 on the D, 13 back on the G, and slide down to 9th fret. So that goes like this slowly. Next part, you do a tremolo on the note. So it's 11, 12, 14 on a G, 7 fret on a G, slide to 9th fret, and then 6th fret on the G. Alright, so from the top, the whole thing slowly so far we have this. Okay, next part you play the 7th fret on the G string, you bend down slowly. You play the 9th fret on the D and 9th fret on the A, and then so that part right there, you play the 7th fret on the D string, slide up the 9th fret, and then 7 and 9 on the G, and then 8th fret on the G, bend up, full step. And they play the 7th fret on a G. So far with this. Next part. 7th fret on the D string, slide up the 9th fret, and then play the 7th fret on the G, and play the 9th fret on the D string twice. When you play the 7th fret on the G, make sure you bend down slowly. Okay. Next part. And then play 7th fret again on the G string. Bend down slowly. 9th fret on the D. 9 and 7 on the G. 9 and 7 on the D string. And then 7th fret on the G. 9 and 7 on the D. And then 7th fret on the A string. And you kind of bend down. A little vibrato. So far with this, the part. So the next is a diminished run, and it goes like this. Let's start from what we just learned here so far. Okay, let's stop right there for now. So what I'm doing is I play 5th fret on the A string, and then play the 7th fret on the A, slide up the 9th fret, and then 8 and 11 on the D string, and then 9th fret on the G, 8 on the B, 11 on the B string, slide up the 14th fret on the B string, pull off 11. So far with this. And then 12 on the G, 14 and 11 on the D string, 14 and 12 on the A string, 11 on the D, hammer on the 14th fret, 11 on the A string, hammer on the 14th fret, and then 10th fret, and you skip the string on the G, you play 10th fret on the B string, and then play the 14th fret on the B string, slide up to 17 and back down to 14, and pull off on 10th fret, and then 12 on the G, and then 10th on the B string, and hammer on, pull off on 14th fret. So this whole thing slowly goes like this. Last part of the one more time. Okay, the next part is a little tricky because you have to, yeah, it's the same pattern, but you gotta do up, down on your picks. So sometime when you're picking the same pattern, you're picking inside. And note when I say inside is when you go downstroke, upstroke between two strings. Sometimes you'll play outside where you'll be upstroke on the bottom string and downstroke on the top string. So when you play like inside, be like down, up, be down, up. The pick is inside two string. Sometimes you may have to go like this. Up, down. That's outside those two string. But you still alternate picking, alright? So here's how it goes. So let's practice that part first. It's the same thing. The rest is the same pattern, but just moving up differently. So you play the 14th fret on the E string, pull off on 10th fret, and then 12 on the B, and then 10th on the E. And you play the 14th fret again on the E string, pull off on 10th fret, do that twice. 12 on the B, 10 on the E. And you do the 14th fret again, pull off on 10th fret 2 more times. 12 on the B, 10 on the E. So far with this. Next part, 15th fret on the, you gotta stretch it out. 15th fret with your pinky on the E string, pull off on 10th fret. 12 on the B, 10 on the E, and then 14th fret on the E and pull off on 10. 12 on the B and 10 on the E. 15th fret again, same pattern. 14th fret, same pattern. So that second part goes like this. So you pivot to those 12 on the B and 10th on the E every time you play the 15th and 14th fret on the E string. So the whole thing slowly goes like this. One more time. I would practice that until you get that down. Right, until you can get that, and then you gotta make sure you get your thumb behind your fretboard or behind your neck, because you gotta stretch out a little bit longer now. So now you're gonna move up the 15th fret on the E string. Do the same pattern. 15 to 10 fret on the E and 12 fret on the B. So the pattern goes like this, the same thing. And then you'll pivot between 17th fret and 15th fret on the E string. The next part goes like this. It's the exact same pattern what I showed you earlier, but just changing notes, okay? So that second part goes like this slowly. So you play a little faster, it sounds like this. Alright, so we put the whole thing together slowly, it goes like this. Next part you do the exact same thing, but this time you, instead of playing 15th fret, you do 16th fret on the E string, and you keep 17th fret as well. So it goes like this. Okay, so you see that. So it's the same pattern we just did, but the note you're changing is 16 to 17th fret on the E string instead of 15 to 17th fret. So the third section goes like this slowly again. I'm sorry, it goes like this. Okay, now I'm going to show you something. Live, I saw Marty, instead of stretch out like that on the 16th fret, once you get to the 16th fret on the E string, he plays actually like this. Alright, it's easy on the hand, but it's not the same note as you hear on the record. Alright, so, but the pattern is the same. So what is that? When if you play the live version of what Marty does, he'll play the 16th fret on the high E string, pull off on 12th fret. You basically bar on 12th fret with your index finger on a B and E string. So you play the 16th fret on the E string, 12 on the B string, and then back to 12 on the E, and then 16th fret again, pull off twice on the 12th fret, 12 on the B, 10 on the E, do the same thing again, and then pivots on the 17th fret. Always go back to the 12th fret of B string and E string. Alright, so again, the live version goes like this. Studio version, stretch out. So whatever is easy for you. Alright, so after I finish playing that part, live and studio is the exact same version. You bar the 14th fret with the index finger this time, and you'll play the 18th fret on the E string, pull off on the 14th fret on the E string, and play the 14th fret on the B string. Goes like this. And then you do the same pattern again. And then you play the so the whole thing goes like this again. Now, once you play that, he moves down. You play the 17th fret on the E string, pull off on 12th fret, and play the 14th fret on the B string. Back to 12th fret on the E, and they pull off twice with the 17 to 12. B14, E12, and he does that again one more time. But the second time, he only played it twice. Pull off on the 17 to 12, and he'll play the 17th fret again and bend up full step. So the ending goes like this. Slow down again. Or let's run through the entire section with the pivot, pull off, lick slowly. It goes like this. Okay, after it bends up the 17th fret, now we're into the very last part of the solo, which is probably the hardest part to learn. There's a lot of stuff going on here. But what I'm doing is let me show you first how I play it slowly. That's the first part. Alright, so what I'm doing is I play the 7th fret on the B string, slap the 15th fret on the B, and then hit the 15th fret again on the B. And then play the 19th fret on the B. I use my ring finger and pull off a 15th fret, and 18, 16 on the G string, and then 9th fret on the G string, and then 17th fret on the E, and then 21 on the E, pull off on the 17th fret, and then 17th and 15th fret on the B. Now in the live version, Marty, one of the versions I saw, he completely skipped this part. He doesn't play it at all. But in the studio, that's what he does. Okay. Okay. The next part, after we finish that part, goes like this. I'm starting that part again. Okay. Now, in the studio version, he plays a 24 fret guitar. So this part right here, you're supposed to play the 19th fret, hammer on the 24 fret and pull off a 19th fret. But this is a 22 fret guitar, so I don't have 24 fret. I can solve that by playing the 22nd fret, bend up full step, go like that. But I just play 19th fret, hammer on the 22nd fret, pull off. I'll just play that. So play 19th fret on the E string, hammer on and pull off on 22nd fret, and then play the 22nd fret on the B string, and then 19th fret again on the E string, 22nd fret on the B string, pull off on 17th fret. So far with this. Next part, 19th fret on the B string, pull off on 17th fret, and then 19th, 18th fret on the B string. And quickly move your hand down, and you play the 17th fret on the E string, pull off on 15th fret, and then 17th fret on pull off on 15th fret on the B string. Slide down, and then you play the 15th fret on the E string, pull off on 14th fret, and then 15th fret on the B string, pull off on 14th fret, and then 14, 12 on the E, 14 and 12 on the B, 12, 10 on the E, 12, 10 on the B. So far with this. So after you play the 10th fret, you gotta play the 10th fret again. Hammer on the 12 and pull off on 10th fret and slide down to 8th. And then play the 10th fret again on the B string, pull off on 8th fret and slide down to 7. So and after you slide down to 7th fret, you play the 8th fret on the B string, pull off on 7th fret, and 10th fret on the B string, pull off on 7th fret. Is that once you get down to the 7th fret on the B string, once you play this, you pull off on 8th fret to 7th fret, 10th fret to 7th fret. You gotta do one more time on the 8th fret on the 7th fret. And then after that, you play 9th fret on the G string, pull off on 7th fret. And then 10th fret on the G string, pull off on 9, pull off on 7. And then 9th fret on the G string, pull off on 7 again. You pause for a little bit. You play the 9th fret on the G string, bend up full step. And the 7th fret on the E string. 10 and 7 on the B. 10 on the B string, bend up full step. Alright, so far we have this. Start from the top. little too fast. Let me play slowly one more time. Okay, the next part goes like this. It's 4th fret on the G string, hammer on the 5th and 7th. Pick the 4th fret on the B string, and then you play the 6th fret on the B string. Pull off 5th fret, pull off 4th fret, and then hammer on back on 6th fret. So, and the next part, 7th fret on the G string, hammer on the 9th and 10, pull off on the 7th. And then 8, 7, and 6, pull off on the B string and hammer back to 8th fret on the B string. So far we have this. And then 11, 12, and 14 on the G, pull off on the 11th fret. And then chromatically you'll play 12, 11, 10 back to 11 on the B string. Play that twice. And then 12, 11, 12. So the whole thing slowly. So that's the whole solo to Tornado of Souls. Thanks for watching.